Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this recipe box. I was contacted by a lady who follows my blog and she said that she'd seen a recipe box posted there quite some time ago, and did I have a video on it? And the answer was no. I wasn't making videos at that time actually, but I thought, well, that's a good idea. If one lady's interested in knowing how to make a recipe box, there's bound to be other people. So here we go. The colour I've used here is Delightful Dijon, and today I'm going to be using Watermelon Wonder, which is this colour here. The card pieces that you're going to need, this piece of Watermelon Wonder measures 10 1/8 of an inch by 10 inches. You will need 5 pieces of cardstock that measure 5 inches by 3 inches, and you'll need some DSP. The pieces are, let's see, they should be, first of all, by all 5 inches wide, these ones. Right, these two are 5 by 5 inches wide. This is 2 3/8 by 5 inches, and this is 1 7/8 by 5 inches. And then there are 2 pieces that are 2 3/8 by 1 7/8. So they're all to cover the outside of the box. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score my recipe box frame. So I'll bring my scoreboard up. There we go. Right, to start off with, you need across here the side that's 10 1/8 of an inch, and you need to score at 1/2 an inch oh, 9 5/8. Yes, we can do it. Let's do 1/2 an inch this side, and then we can turn it around. I did this the other day, and I said how difficult it is to score 1/2 an inch down that side. So if you score at, let's see, what's that? You score at 9 5/8, turn around and 9 5/8 again. Okay. And then, so we've got our 1/2 an inch. So this, then we go to 2 1/2 inches, 7 5/8, and then that's 9 5/8, which is our other 1/2 an inch. Turn your cardstock anti-clockwise, just 90 degrees, and score it at 2 1/2 inches and 4 1/2 inches. So that's all we need to do with the scoreboard. Right, we're going to need to cut some pieces off, and I have my template here so that I can tell you correctly. Okay, so if we do it so that we have the large area here, can you see my score lines? Just about. Okay, so that's score line down to the bottom, that's the big section. Yes, you can see that, the 2 smaller sections up at the top. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove this section and this section, that little section there, and then the same on the other side. Okay, that one, and that one. Okay, so that's our first bit of cutting that we need to do. Right, keep that bit because we can use that for scrap later. I am changing the design slightly on this one. Instead of using flowers, I'm going to be using butterflies. I just like to bring the changes where I can on my projects, just to give you different ideas of what things look like. Right, now I can change over to my small scissors. Okay, so now we're going to cut out this little piece. Same on this side. Now the only other piece of cutting we need to do is down this score line here, and we're going to cut a little notch in it because we need to fold this to create a corner. Okay, so that's that bit, and then very slightly a little wedge. Okay, that's all. Oops, that's all I've done. And the same on the other side. Okay. So let's just get rid of those pieces. And now I'm going to fold on all my crease lines, and I think I didn't bring my bone folder over, did I? Let's have a look. I'm not sure I've got it in here either. So I think what I will do, I just wonder if I can use the back of my scissors. Oh yes, that's all right. When you're folding this, make sure that it is going across in a straight line. Now the way that I seal this box up is probably a little bit different from most of the other boxes I do, but the reason I do it is to give the box a bit more stability, because it is just cardstock that I'm using, but with that extra bit of support it will be fine. As I say, I have made this before. In fact, I've made two different kinds before. Now, before we move on any further, I don't know if you noticed, but at the top of the box, I've punched out the hearts up there. Let's just put it behind there and you can see it. Okay, so let me show you how I've done that so that I have come nicely to the end but not gone right off the end. It's quite easy to do. I'm going to face it towards me because I need to apply quite a bit of pressure. So what I'm going to do is I put my paper in and I put it so that I think that is halfway. This bit here is halfway between both sides. So that's the first one. And then I move this along, and this edge, let me show you on the punch. You see there's a line on the punch just there. I don't know if I'm showing you properly here. Right, I think you can see it, but let me describe it physically. Once you've done your first punch, if you move your paper so that as you're lining this, you line your hearts up like this and make sure that your paper is close to the edge, okay? The most important bit is that you've lined the hearts up. That's most important. The second most important is that your cardstock is right near the edge of this. And then if you punch again, you'll find it'll come right towards the end, but without doing one that's going to cut and get broken. So again, line up the hearts and then make sure that this cardstock is right towards the edge. Okay, so that's all lined without, let's lay that down, it's all lined up without cutting at the edges there. And I saved my hearts for a later project, and I just round off my corners using the Project Life corner rounder. Okay, so that's that bit. Now I will put my DSP on here. So I'm going to have one piece on the back here. I'm going to have, obviously if you put a directional pattern like the writing, you must be careful which way you put your writing so that it's up the right way all the time. And on the bottom one, I just make sure that as I'm reading it like that, if I turned it over, it's still going in the right direction. Okay, so that's going across and that's still going across. Obviously it's different for the back, but it's got to be different somewhere. Okay, so we're going to put that piece there, that piece on the bottom, and these two pieces on the side. And I've measured that wrong, haven't I? Well, not to worry, I'll sort that out later. It's not crucial to the video, what I'm showing you. So I will put this on with oh, here it is right in front of me, liquid glue, just because it just gives me a little bit of time to get myself lined up nice and straight. The DSP that I'm using is the new Designer series paper stack. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I have the DSP paper stacks for all the colour groups. But you get so much in a packet, it is amazing value. Downside of it is I'm still working my way through my packets, so I can't justify at the moment buying these super new ones. But I've got them in the in colours, so that's good. And then this one for the bottom. Okay, and then the other large piece is going to be going on here. Just make sure that I've cut this one right, the right size. That's it. Okay. Now I'm going to glue the box together. And when I say this is done in a little bit of an unusual way, what is going to happen is it's going to be glued in there. Can you see what I've done? I could have left this piece off, glued the box and then put it on to cover this up, but I haven't because it would be bumpy. You'd see that I was covering something up, so you might as well have it as obvious because it's on the inside anyway. It's not going to be shown. But doing the box like that, I feel that it gives it, it makes it really nice and strong. Now I'm going to use fast fuse. I've been using this a lot lately, and I love it. It's just so much quicker than the red sticky strip. So what I'm going to do, first of all, on these two pieces, on the edge here and here, I'm going to put a strip of fast fuse. And then also on the outside, so fold the flaps in and put the fast fuse on there as well. As you can see, I'm not an expert on the fast fuse yet, but I am pretty good, she says modestly. There we go, look at that one. Yay, brilliant. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is turn it around that way, bring that side up, and this piece here has got to stick on here. So the reason I do it laying on my work surface is because it's so much easier to make sure it's straight, so you get no wonky sides to it. Okay, so that goes up, bring the back in, and that's like that one, and then same this side, Okay, and then these are in, turn it around, bring this up again to keep it nice and flat and straight on the work surface. And let me tilt it slightly so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm using my fingers to push this in slightly to make sure it lines up there. And then when I'm happy, I will just make sure that goes down. Again, in the absence of my bone folder, I will use my scissors to make sure that is all adhered down nicely. Okay, so that's our box done. Now to decorate it, I'm using butterflies, and this is where this scrap piece comes in useful. I'm using the Papillon Potpourri stamp set, and my two favourite ones that I tend to use all the time. And I'm going to use my watermelon ink, and I'm going to do 3 butterflies, but I've already done them to save a bit of time, so I'll just do 1 so you can see what I did. Okay, that's the mummy butterfly and the baby butterfly. And I will punch them out using, this is the bitty butterfly punch. And then the big one, not sure what this one's called. The name will be on the screen though. Okay, so that's all lined up. And then I fold my butterfly so that the body comes as a straight line down here. I'm going to do that for the baby butterfly as well. And then I glue that in with my wet glue. There we go, that's that one. These are the other ones that I made earlier, and just by way of a change I'm going to use rhinestones on these. Little runs of 3 here. That's one. That's 2. And 3. And these I am going to place on the front, on here. And I'm going to use wet glue again for these. Just putting these at angles. I'm not going to tilt that up, give it a little while to settle down and dry. Now with the letters, again, it's something I've already done, but I'll show you how I do it. You can probably see that they're nice and shiny. I have used glossy accent, not glossy, is ours called glossy? No, Crystal Effects. But I will do just one to show you what I do. I use our little letters Thinlit dies. So let's just take the first one that comes to hand, which is the O. And I always keep some wax paper cut up ready to go in my box. I keep my doilies, googly eyes and epoxy shapes. So put that on there. Paper, the letter, oh no, paper, wax paper, then the letter. I really do recommend keeping these little letters on a sheet of magnet like that, and as soon as you've finished using them, pop them away again, because it'd be so easy to lose these. And where did my paper piercer go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so just pop that out, comes out really easily, and make sure I get the wax paper off the top, like that. Okay, so do what I tell you to do, pop it away, and if you've had several of them out, count them before you actually put your packet away to make sure you've still got 16 in there. Right, okay, so I get my silicone sheet. Imagine that I've got all my letters on here, and then my Crystal Effects, not that one, that one, and just put a really thick layer over the letters. So if you do all of that, also when you close this, make sure that you don't have any air in there. If you give it a squeeze, just get a bit of kitchen towel. So if you just make sure that you've got no air in there at all, close it, and that will stop it from clogging up. Okay, if I can just show you this now, you'll see that the glue is running off on the side there. I'll show you what will happen when that dries. These are my letters that I've already made, and I've tidied them all up except the I, so that I could show you. And with my sharp pair of scissors, I don't know which is the best way to show you, oh maybe that way to show you. Can you see on the I, yes you can, all the bits and pieces that were out to the sides there? That's where the glue ran off, and all you need to do to tidy that up is cut it off like that. Okay. Don't try pulling it off, because it's very strong and you could finish up pulling a whole chunk off with it. So the next thing is to stick these on here. Again, I'm not going to sit here and do all of them. I'll just show you how I get them lined up, and then I'll finish that off later. So I do the recipe, and I know that they've got 5 hearts either side, so I know that is the centre. So I put my I and the C there, and then R and E, P, okay, so that looks fine there. And then the box I do in the middle there. Let me show you that. Okay, and I use wet glue to put that down. As I say, I'm not going to do it here and now because I think this video is going to finish up horrendously long. The last thing that I need to do, that I want to show you, is how I did my dividers. I did 5: meat, fish, veg, desserts and miscellaneous. So that's what these 5 pieces are here. And I took my modern decorative punch, I think, and I punched out 4 of these, 3 of them, cut them in half, and the actual names, I used my label. I've got a brother. I thought I was going to leave it out to show you. Must have put it away. Never mind. So I printed mine off on that. This one I've done a little bit differently because I've done it in white. Let me just take the backing off. If you don't have a labeler, then obviously you could print something off on your computer. I have a lot of alphabet stamps, but nothing that's quite small enough to do this. But anyway, I pop that right near the top here. Okay, like that. And then with my fast fuse again, no, that's fast fuse. I just put a line across the bottom, and then in fact I'll show you the ones I've already done so that I can make sure I get it all lined up properly. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. Let's move the fish one. So this is how I make sure I get them lined up. Once I've done the first one, which is the fish, always, because it's right in the centre, then I put that, so that's my 2 bumpy bits are lined up on my dark line, and then I'm putting this towards the end here, and make sure the top of this bumpy ones go to the dark line again. There we go. Looks as if I put the meat on very slightly wonky, but that's okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so there we have all the cards in their separate sections, and that will be going in there. So there's my butterfly recipe box. What I'll do is I'll finish this off and on the sides here, and I'll post a photograph of it on my blog on the same day that I post this video onto YouTube too. I hope you like it. I hope you decide to give it a try. It is a little bit of a long one, this one, but obviously, you know, there's a lot of work involved in it, but it is certainly worth it, I think. Let's bring this one over. There we go. I think you can see that all right, can't you? Yeah. Anyway, many thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, please contact me. I will be very happy to help you. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button, which is on the right hand side of the screen, or depending on what device you're watching this on, it may be down below underneath this screen. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I've used here today, apart from obviously the cards, which I bought from a stationer's. No, I didn't. I bought them from my supermarket. Yes, my supermarket. Please click on the link that's on my screen. That will take you to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. There'll also be a link in the details down below. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.